everyone. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here with you all today. Thank you for having me. Like Alante mentioned, we are going to be doing some yoga, and because I know this is for grad students, we're really going to be digging into our back and shoulders, since that's where we hold a lot of tension, especially as we write. I'm really working on loosening up those areas. I like to start off all of my classes with a breathing meditation. Before I do that, though, let me rewind. If there's anyone who is currently pregnant or injured, please just privately chat me so I can take a look. I will be offering modifications throughout, but just want to make sure that if I need to offer specific modifications, I am doing so. If you are on your mat, go ahead and come to a comfortable seat, whether that is with your legs spread out in front of you or folded in easy seated pose. Find what works best for you. And to just transition us into this space, we're going to take an inhale and bring our shoulders up to our ears. And exhale, roll them down our backs. Sitting up nice and tall, the crown of your head is facing the ceiling. Go ahead and allow your eyes to float closed. And before we begin, I want you to just take a moment to set an intention for today's practice. It can be an affirmation for you or for someone else. It can be an intention you've been working on throughout the week. But if you're struggling to come up with it, I'm going to share mine for today with you. And the card that I pulled from my self-love deck says, I let go of all past hurts. They no longer have a home in my mind, body, or spirit. And so that's the affirmation I'm going to use as we flow today. And then begin to connect with your breath. Noticing the rise and fall of your belly, of your chest. Taking note of any places where you may be holding tension. And just taking note of them without judgment. Just observing. And you are welcome to keep your palms of your hands on your knees, or if it is better for you to connect with your breath, placing one hand on your heart and one on your belly, that works as well. And so we're going to begin with our 3-part breath called Dirga Pranayama. So on your first inhale, breathe in through your nose and fill your belly with air like a balloon. Feel your belly button shift towards the wall in front of you. And on an exhale, send your belly button back towards your spine, allowing your belly to totally deflate and rid itself of all air. Inhaling again, filling your belly with air completely. And as you exhale, sending your navel back towards your spine. And one more inhale here, breathing in, filling your belly with air. And exhale, ridding your belly of all air. For this next part, you're going to inhale through your belly. And taking another bit of air, sending it up into your lower ribs, your chest, feeling your lower ribs expand. Exhale, feeling your lower ribs collapse. And then sending your belly button back towards your spine. Inhale again through your belly and your chest, expanding those lower ribs. Exhaling chest and then belly. And again, inhaling belly and chest. And exhaling chest and belly. This time inhaling through your belly and your chest. And taking one more sip of air and feeling that heart space expand. And exhaling through our lungs and that heart space. Collapsing your lower ribs and your chest. And then sending your navel back to your spine. And again, inhaling belly, chest, and lungs. Exhaling lungs, chest, and belly. And one more time, inhaling belly, chest, and lungs. And exhaling lungs, chest, and belly. If your hands are currently on your heart and your belly, go ahead and allow them to float down to your knees. And gently flutter your eyes open. And then when you're ready, reverse the cross of your legs. So we can create some balance in our body. We'll be on our feet for just a minute. So we're gonna start with some neck rolls, taking a big inhale, sitting up nice and tall, and exhale, dropping your left ear to your left shoulder. Inhaling as you drop your head back and around. And as your right ear touches your right shoulder, exhale as you drop down and bring your chin to your chest. And repeating the circle, left ear to left shoulder, inhaling back and around. Right ear to right shoulder, exhale as you drop down, chin to chest. We'll do one more circle here, following your own breath. And if there are any spots of tension, feel free to move more slowly and work through that. And once you've reached your third circle, we're gonna go ahead and reverse. So exhale down and around, bringing our right ear to our right shoulder. As we inhale back, around, left ear to left shoulder, down in front. As you exhale, chin to chest. And one more circle, following your own breath. Inhaling back and around. Exhaling down and forward. And then returning to a neutral neck. Good. Inhaling your left hand up into the air. And sending it over your head to clasp your right ear. Exhale, bringing that ear gently down towards your shoulders, sitting up nice and tall. If you need a deeper stretch, you can take your right arm and go for a bind behind your back. Good, and breathe. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall, shoulders are down our back. Exhale, see if you can bring that ear just a bit closer to your shoulder, feeling that stretch in that right side of your neck. Good. And release. Opposite side, inhale, right arm up in the air and over to grab that left ear. Exhale, go ahead and bring that ear to your shoulder. And if you took a bind on the first side, go ahead and take a bind on this side. Sitting up nice and tall, and on your next exhale, draw your ear even closer down to your shoulder, getting that nice, good stretch in. Good. And release. This time, inhale, float both arms up over your head. And on an exhale, bring your left hand down to your right knee and prop your left arm back behind you as you look over that back shoulder. I'm gonna turn, you stay where you are, but if you need to stay, prop your left back arm over your back shoulder and look as you twist and exhale. Inhale, walk that hand in closer to your seat. And exhale, twist even more deeply. Good, keep twisting, inhales, with each inhale sitting up taller. With each exhale, twisting even more deeply. And one more breath here. And release. Good. Inhale, back up to center. And exhale, opposite side. Good, looking over that back shoulder. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall, walking your hand closer in towards your seat. Exhale, twisting that spine even more deeply. Ridding that lower back of some tension. Good. And release. Good, back to center. And we have One more spinal stretch before we get into some of our shoulder work. So bring your hands, the palms of your hands, to your knees. And again, I'm going to turn so you all can see what's happening. On an inhale, you're going to curve your spine in, send your neck up, looking up towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, you're going to curve under like a Halloween cat, really engaging your core here and looking down, bringing your chin to your chest. Inhale back up for cow. Good. And exhale for cat, curving our spine. And go ahead and take 3 more following your own breath here. Inhaling up for cow and exhaling for cat. Really allowing your breath to guide your practice. And one more. Good. And then returning to a neutral spine. All right, so if you have a yoga strap or a belt at your discretion, you can feel free to use it. If not, it's totally okay. My shoulders have been a bit tight lately. And so I'm going to use the strap just to help me out, but I'm going to turn around so you all can see what's happening. So you'll inhale, bring your right hand over your head, and then fold that elbow down so that it reaches the small of your back. Bringing your other arm around, you will clasp your hands together. You want to make sure your neck stays nice and tall, your shoulders stay down your back, and that top elbow is really behind your head. If you're using a belt or a strap, then you hold the belt or the strap in the top hand and clasp it with the bottom and pull down to get that stretch. Good. So go ahead and pull up, right arm over your head, or left arm, I'm sorry, over your head. Good. And clasp that back arm around, sitting up nice and tall. Yeah, it's a nice, good stretch you feel. So what I see happening right now is a lot of folks' top arm is over to the side. See if you can bring it up behind your back. There you go. If this is a good enough stretch for you and you're feeling it all in your shoulders, feel free to stay here. If you like a bit of a deeper stretch, inhale, sit up nice and tall, and exhale, fold at your hips, keeping the integrity in your back. Back is nice and straight, shoulders are still down your back. You're folding at your hips, and now you begin to feel it further down your back and into your hips. So listen to your body, right? Figure out what's best for you. Don't let ego drive you. And breathe. And if you did fold forward today, I want you to engage your core as you inhale and come on up. And exhale, release. And shake it out. Good, and we'll do the other arm. So inhale, right arm overhead. And go ahead and fold it back. And then grab your hands where they meet in the center of your back. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders are down your back. And if you fold it on the other side, go ahead and fold on this side. So we'll take an inhale as we sit up nice and tall. And exhale, fold. I'm actually not gonna fold on this side because the shoulder is a bit tighter. And I don't want to cause any harm to my body. And breathe. Good, feeling that stretch all through our shoulders, top of our back. And if you did fold, go ahead and engage that core as you inhale and come up. And exhale, release, and shake it out. Good, how's everyone feeling? All right, so we're gonna get into some deeper stretches. So I'm gonna invite you to come onto your knees with me. And we are going to start this portion with a child's pose. So bring your big toes to touch and spread your knees the width of the mat, keeping your hips where they are Walk your hands in front of you, bringing your chest and your forehead to the mat. Really feeling the stretch here in your back, opening up your hips. If you'd like a bit more of a stretch in your shoulders, come up onto the pads of your fingertips. And breathe. So this pose is not only good for stretching so much of the back of our body and our hips, it's also really good for easing anxiety and symptoms of depression. So I know sometimes when I write, I can tend to get a bit anxious. And so just walking away from my computer and popping into a child's pose for 3 to 5 minutes is really helpful for me. Take a big inhale where you are, and exhale, walk both of your hands over to the left, bringing your right hand on top of the left and keeping your forehead down on the mat or on the floor. Getting a big stretch in that right side body. Continuing to breathe. Breathing through any tension or stiffness. Inhaling back to center. And as you exhale, this time walking your hands over to the right, bringing that left hand on top of the right. And breathing. Feeling a stretch of the opposite side this time. And inhaling, walking back to center. Good. Exhale, pressing into your palms as you walk them back towards your torso. Coming up onto your knees. Very slowly. Good. Now we're going to come onto all fours. What's important here is alignment so we don't injure ourselves. So you want your knees to be hip width distance apart. You can check that by bringing 2 fists together and placing them between your knees. And then take a look between your knees to make sure you cannot see your feet. You want one straight line. Good. The next thing we're going to do is place our palms firmly onto the ground or onto the mat, pressing into the pads of our fingertips, the bases of our fingertips and our thumb. And you want to make sure that that wrist is directly beneath the elbow, which is directly beneath the shoulder. So one straight line. This pose is all about alignment and foundation. We want to make sure our foundation is strong before we move on to anything else. On your next inhale, breathe in, sweeping that left arm up into the air. Fingertips pointing to the sky, and your gaze is up towards those fingertips. On an exhale, come down. Bring that left arm underneath the right as you bring your left shoulder and ear to the mat. Good. So you have a couple of options for this pose. This is our thread the needle. You can stay right here where you are. You can walk that right arm out for a bit of an upper back stretch. Or if you're feeling really bendy today, you can go ahead and bring that arm behind your back, that right arm behind your back, and grip your fingers onto your left thigh for a bind. Whichever feels best to you in this moment. I'm going to come out of the pose for just a minute. You stay where you are, but I want to make sure everyone is looking good and comfortable in the pose. Good. You all look beautiful. Keep breathing. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Good, and if you took a bind, go ahead and bring that right palm back down to the mat. And on your next inhale, pressing into that right palm as you sweep that arm back up and over, back to our original spinal twist. And then exhale, float the arm back down. Good, we're gonna take it on the other side. So inhale, right arm up into the air, really pressing into that palm, making sure your alignment is still there. So there should be one straight line between your top and bottom hands. And then exhale, go ahead and sweep it through. Coming into your thread the needle and choosing whichever position is good for you today. So again, choosing to keep that left palm where it is, walking it forward, or reversing the arm behind your back for a bind. If you're in the bind, you want to make sure that your fingertips are touching that thigh. You continue to breathe. And then we'll take 3 more breaths here. Good. And then go ahead and bring that left palm back to the mat. And on an inhale, pressing into that palm, coming back up, reversing the twist, getting a nice good twist here. And exhale, floating the palm back down. We've got one more pose here to really open up that lower back and our shoulders as well. So again, on all fours, checking our alignment. I want you to watch this one before you come into it with me. You want to keep your hips where they are, stacked above your knees, and you're going to walk your hands forward, bringing your chest and your chin to the mat. So this is our puppy pose. If you can bring your forehead down, that's great. That's not comfortable for me. To come out of the pose, you will bring your forearms back, pressing into your palms, and come up like a push-up, okay? So let's go ahead and try that together. So we're on all fours here, walking your palms forward, bringing your chest and your chin down to the mat, keeping those hips stacked over our knees. Good, and breathe. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we should really feel this across those shoulders, where we tend to build up a lot of tension as we sit at our computers and write. Excellent. Very slowly walk your palms back towards your chest bone. And then on exhale, push up like you're in a push up. Good. And then meet me on your back. Go ahead and hug both knees into your chest, giving yourself a big hug. Maybe rocking from side to side to give yourself a bit of a lower back massage, or drawing circles with your knees in one direction and then the other. Good. And then exhale, release everything down into the mat, coming into our Savasana. Choosing the position of your hands, whether that's face up to receive or face down for grounding. And beginning to reconnect with that breath. Allow your eyes to float closed. And everything is flat on the mat. So legs are connecting, arms are connecting, and breathe. If other thoughts begin to creep up, allow them to pass as if they were clouds in the sky, without any judgment. And for our closing, you have a couple of options here. You're welcome to continue to lay on the mat in Savasana as you soak up this rest. If you'd like, you can roll onto your side into a fetal position as you return to the intention that you set for the beginning of our practice today. Using that bottom arm to support your head. And if you have rolled into the fetal position, go ahead and take a moment to just express gratitude to your body for bringing you to the mat and through this practice today. If you've rolled onto your side, I invite you to join me in a comfortable seat. And if you're still in Savasana, you are welcome to stay there as well. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall with your shoulders down your back. Inhale as you bring your arms above your head, gathering all good things on your way. Joy and love and peace, and sealing them between your palms. And on an exhale, bring them all down to heart center. And repeat today's closing affirmation after me. I am healthy. I am happy. I am abundant. I am. And we close our practice by simply saying namaste, which means the light in me sees and acknowledges the light in you. Namaste. It has been a pleasure to practice with you all today. That time flew by. I know that Alante is going to send out an email. If you are still in Savasana, there is no need for you to get up, continue to rest. I did want to offer for the next 6 weeks, I will be offering a special for graduate students. 7 p.m. on Mondays, I will be teaching a class for 6 weeks and the cost is $50. If you are interested, please feel free to email me. I will drop my email in the chat, as well as my Instagram. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to Alante. Have a great day, everyone.